Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paige Campbell Show, episode 27. 27, right?
Yeah,
Alright, just making sure.
pretty sure.
I, of course, am Paige Campbell. On the left of me, my best friend in the whole world, Noah Clarke.
Hey,
How you doing, Noah?
pretty good.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
I like recording episodes with you.
It's a good time. It always is.
I like recording shows. How you been? What's new?
Pretty good. Not
Yeah.
much.
How's your summer been going?
It's been going great. I've
Yeah.
been getting a lot of rest, playing a lot of video games.
Yeah, for sure. Done anything cool?
I went on vacation.
Really? Tell me about that.
I went to Maine.
Okay. Eat new lobster?
Yeah,
Maine?
yeah.
Really?
It was,
tell me about that lobster.
It was delicious. We actually found a place that was like not a restaurant, but they served food, and they boiled their own lobsters that they caught right outside the place, and it was pretty cheap. It was reasonably priced, and it was like right outside the place we stayed for a couple days, and we were heading out of Maine into another state, and we found this place, and we were like, all right, we'll stop here, and there's a beautiful view of the state and beautiful food.
So here's the question. Not a restaurant, but doesn't serve food.
Yeah, it
How
was.
does that make any sense?
We went in thinking it was a restaurant,
Right.
and they had a menu, basically.
They had a menu. They had waiters. They had food.
They didn't have waiters.
They had
See, that's the
drinks.
thing. They said there were signs that said no table service. They didn't have waiters.
Okay, so it was like only like a drive-through.
They had these big boilers outside, and they had a bunch of lobsters, kind of like you would see it like Red Lobster.
Right.
And they're like, pick your own. I'm like, all right, I'll have that one. And then they would weigh them, and then cook them for you, and bring them to you. Or actually, you brought them to yourself after they like rang a bell.
Uh-huh.
And they had sides and stuff that you could order.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much like
A restaurant.
a restaurant, but they didn't serve you.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it was good.
So what are your thoughts on the places that let you pick your own lobster? How do you feel about?
I thought it was a great experience, a great
Yeah.
time. I felt like Professor Oak was giving me my choice to pick a starter. Only it
Okay.
was a lobster.
See, I mean, like, I love, like, seafood. Seafood's, like, one of my favorite genres of food. I guess
Right.
genre. Style of food.
Fair.
I mean, is it style or
Type of food,
type of
I guess.
food?
Genre
I
means
guess.
type.
Genre?
So you can say that.
My favorite genre of food's rock. No, I love seafood. Big fan of seafood.
Mhm.
But I feel like that's pretty horrible. The places that just let you pick out, like
Yeah.
the lobsters are there and they're like just kind of chilling, having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
And then they get pointed at and like they get cooked. You know what I mean?
And they
Like,
boil them live, too.
Yeah.
It's not like they crack them over the side of
well,
the
you
wall
don't crack
or
'em 'cause then
anything.
you crack 'em.
Exactly.
The tail and the
Exactly.
claws.
They just boil them live.
Right. I just feel like it's pretty cruel. Like no other restaurant does that with like.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
You don't get to pick your own burger unless you own the cow.
Right. You don't get to go to McDonald's and they have like a pen of cows, or like you never go into like a Chinese buffet and they have like a pen of cats.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
it never happens.
Nope.
I don't. You know, I think it's
At least not here.
there's something weird
It's not
about
common.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something weird about it.
It is weird,
Something off about it.
but it's delicious.
But
it's
it
fresh.
is delicious. Hey, I love lobster.
Exactly.
I'm not saying I
yeah.
don't love
It's
lobster.
great food.
I love lobster. I feel like there's something funny about lobsters, like in a show or something.
Here's a fun fact about lobsters.
All right, go.
In the 1800s, when slavery was a common practice,
Yeah, they used lobsters as
sla-
slaves.
No, they would they would feed their slaves lobster because they thought they were like bugs of the sea. And
Okay.
lobsters used to be extremely plentiful, so they would go out and make the
What
slaves
do you mean,
eat.
like, how would they think these big creatures with claws are bugs?
Not like bugs, but you know, like
They're just
low
really common.
low
Yeah.
class food, and then
Well, I mean, they are kind of like bottom feeders.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the thing about it is nowadays lobster is like one of the most expensive.
Exactly.
foods, so, sounds like.
yeah.
I mean, the slaves didn't get a lot of good stuff, but it sounds like they were kind of making out
They-
in that deal.
I think they had it pretty
Not making out.
okay.
They were making. I don't know what they were making.
They were doing fine.
Yeah. Well, no, they weren't doing fine.
They weren't. They were slaves.
In that area, they were.
As far as eating lobster is concerned, they were
Yeah.
on point.
But it probably
with
wasn't. They were
life.
probably just kind of like throwing them like raw lobster.
Well, yeah, there's no way they would have probably cooked them correctly.
Yeah, I don't think there was like a side of butter and like.
They could have had butter.
Mashed potatoes.
They could. They were churning butter, I think.
Yeah, but not for themselves.
That's true.
You know,
That's true. Unless it was
the slaves
like
didn't have
scraps
many
and
privileges.
rations.
They were slaves.
They had few privileges.
Yeah, that's interesting though. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of slavery, but I am a big fan of lobster.
Lobster is good.
Yeah.
Slavery is not good.
Slavery's not good. I'm glad it's over.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
Now you gotta pay workers. What's that about?
Did you hear in recent news they're pushing to get rid of Confederate flags all across the
I didn't hear this.
states?
I think they should, honestly. Like, I mean, the thing is, I don't think it should be a law just because the great thing about America, freedom of speech, you can,
Right.
you know, even if you say something really horrible, you can say it. You're free to say it.
Yeah.
Freedom of religion. Freedom, right? So I don't like the idea of saying, oh, you can't have a flag, you know.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
at the same time, it's a really, like, it's a really horrible symbol.
Yeah, I don't know like what exactly it's going on. I've just seen it trending on social media lately. They're like,
Yeah. Well, I saw, you know, Talija.
Yeah, yeah.
Paige, I think she posted something. On
I saw
Instagram.
that.
It said like, take it down.
I saw
I
that,
was
and
like, I
then
agree. Take it down.
and then I saw that it was trending after I saw her picture,
Really.
and I was like, okay.
Hashtag
So
take it down.
it's the type of thing. Social media is really powerful. It seems like because you don't have to make a law to, you know, change the popular opinion.
Mhm.
It seems like, and it seems like that's what a lot of that's how we're getting laws changed. Is people just change their mind about something and then spread it on Twitter,
Yeah, I mean,
and the laws change eventually.
you know, people should have the right to fly it. I think it's screwed up, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what does it represent? It represents owning people. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
essentially.
and it's funny to me when people are like, oh, it doesn't represent that. Yes, it freaking does. You know what I mean? Like, how does it not represent that? You know? That's what the South flew
Yeah.
during the war. And the South was fighting to keep their right to own people.
Yeah.
So how does it not represent that? It's funny to me when, like, you hear Southern people that, like, love the Confederate flag. They're like, oh, it just represents Southern pride. It's like, read a history book. And, like, if you don't think it represents owning people, you're an asshole. Like, I'm sorry, but,
Yeah.
like, how, you know what I mean? Like, how does it not represent just, like, owning people?
And there's nothing wrong with Southern pride. We live in the South pretty
Right.
much, so
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with Southern pride, but that particular symbol...
slavery pride is not.
Well,
a
that
good
particular
thing.
symbol represents the South in a time
Yeah.
when they were very proud of having slaves.
Yeah.
You know?
Because like since we became the United States, we don't have different flags like that.
Right. I mean,
So why bother?
I don't think Southern pride is inherently a bad thing, but I do think that it is a I'm going to say the rebel flag is a racist symbol.
How do you feel about Northern aggression
In what do you mean?
in general?
Like the North like pressing the South? What I don't know.
I was just kidding. It was a
Okay.
joke.
I'm like, it doesn't really exist anymore?
You know, that's what they say was the war of Northern aggression.
Yeah, but I mean, the South was trying to leave.
Maybe the South is going to rise again.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what this is all about.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like the whole phrase, "the South will rise again." It's like you're mad that you lost, and you're mad that you lost your slaves. Like,
You want slaves again? Is that what it is?
yeah, I mean, I guess people are bad, man. Did you hear about the thing in Charleston?
Oh yeah, and we were just there.
That's crazy. Yeah, we were just in Charleston, but that's horrible. You know.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And I mean, apparently, like the guy. If you don't know, the guy went into the church and he sat in a prayer meeting. It was a black church.
Yeah, he was there for like an hour.
Yeah,
or
he
something.
sat in a prayer meeting for like an hour and then just shot, like just opened fire, and he killed like 9 people. Like I
Yeah.
think 6 women and 3 dudes.
And like 2 of them were reverend pastors or whatever.
really?
Yeah, ordained.
Well, one of the pastors didn't die, right? Because he's been talking on radio and stuff.
Oh, well, he was shot at least.
Oh, was he? Yeah, I think there were more than 9 people injured, but 9 people died.
Yeah, I saw like a list and
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. Like that's like there still are racial problems in America
Yeah.
that need to be taken care of.
yeah.
And I think taking down the Southern flag is a big part of that.
I
you
guess
know what
I
mean?
guess it could be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely still a problem in America.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I loved like all the like Fox News was trying to pretend it wasn't a racial thing. They were like this attack on faith is egregious, and it's like I don't think he said anything about Christianity. I think he like said like I hate black people before he shot them or something. So it's like I don't think he said anything about the fact that they believed in God. You know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, bad people are bad. I don't like them.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not a big fan of racism.
It's not good.
I'm not a big fan of you know what? Like racism's horrible, but I'm not a big fan of anybody being treated differently just when they're trying to just live their lives.
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? Like leave women alone. Leave other races alone. You know, just live and let live, man. If they're not infringing on your rights, just leave them alone.
That's a good point, yeah.
You know? Hey, kitty. Don't stop the recording.
Better not. It's a bad cat.
Is he a bad cat?
Yeah.
What's his name? I don't even know his name.
Cinder.
Cinder.
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's my brother's cat. I don't know.
I guess like gray. Hey, come here.
Yeah, he is gray. He
Wanted to
looks
play
like a
the
cinder
piano.
block or an ash.
Yeah, I guess like Cinderella. Now here's my did you see the new Cinderella?
No, I didn't.
I saw it. I enjoyed it.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was like live action, right?
Oh yeah.
But here's my question. In the movie, there was a section. This is a great segue from racism to Cinderella. I kind of want to get off that topic. Racism. Stop it. That's our final verdict. But in the movie Cinderella, the new one,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is canon or not. I thought it was cool, but her name is Ella, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dad dies, and there's a evil stepmom, right?
Right.
And they make her do all the chores,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And they make fun of her while she's doing the chores. So she's stoking the fire, and she gets cinder on her face, and so they call her Cinderella as like a demeaning thing.
Yeah.
I never is that like true to the original story?
I have no idea.
I never heard that.
It makes sense.
Like it's awesome, but like I thought in the story her name was just Cinderella.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting.
But that's a cooler way.
I mean, I don't know the original story because like all of the Disney movies that like the original like classic Disney movies.
Yeah.
A lot of them are twists on like old fairy tales, and some of the old fairy tales are really twisted.
Yeah,
and
are really horrible. Like you can pretty much ruin any Disney story by actually reading the story.
I mean, even the I think there's a German version of the what's it, the tortoise and the hare story.
Yeah.
Where basically, I don't remember exactly what happens, but I think like the tortoise, one of the two characters like murders the other and like sleeps with his wife, I think, in the original.
Yeah.
And
I'm just pulling it closer.
it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
They leave that out in the adaptations.
yeah. Well, the thing is, these are all fairy tales, right?
Yeah.
So I guess none of them are actually written down stories. You know, they were all kind of just told to everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I guess eventually people wrote them down, but like, there's no like clear. We don't know who made up Cinderella.
Yeah, that's
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So I guess there's no real clear-cut way to tell it.
There's no canon.
There's no canon, right? So maybe the cinder part is true. But yeah, like if you go back, like a lot of them have really dark undertones. Like in I think in the original Cinderella, when they're going around with the shoe, I think the stepsisters cut their toes off to try to fit into the shoe. Like they just cut their toes
Seriously?
off. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I think my sister told me that. And
That's
then
cool.
like if you read the original Aladdin, because Aladdin's just like a short story in like the Knight's Tales or the
Knights of
Arabian
Arabia
Nights.
or something like that.
Yeah. So it's just like a short story, right? But I
Yeah.
think the actual story, if you read it, is Aladdin's like a street rat, right? Same thing.
Yeah.
He finds the magic lamp, finds the genie, and he asks the genie to make him rich, and then he just buys Jasmine.
Oh, yeah,
He just
yeah.
buys her.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like,
I have heard that.
There's no love. It's just he just buys her.
That's funny.
And then he's
Yeah.
like a prince.
Nice.
That's how it goes. You gotta, buy a princess sometimes.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, I don't know of any other stories like that. Is there anything else like that in your childhood that like you really liked, and then you grow up and you're just like, you know what I mean? Like you kind of look
Yeah.
at it and you're like, that's actually pretty horrible, you know?
Trying to think. I mean, there's just certainly stuff that you miss just like watching. I mean, even in Disney movies, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of pretty graphic deaths in those movies.
Yeah. I guess so. What deaths are you thinking of?
Can't remember. I know in Sleeping Beauty, he like stabs the dragon or something,
Sure, a dragon.
and that's pretty graphic for kids.
Yeah.
But there was one, I don't know. There's a lot that like they leave to the imagination in some of the deaths, but they're still graphic.
Yeah, they
and,
always
you
like,
know,
like pan away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of specifics though. I'm drawing a blank.
Well, I think a lot of the original stories are like that, and it's hard to adapt for like a kid's thing. But a lot of the original stories are just like, yeah, they cut out his bowels. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I mean, he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but you didn't need to do that. You know, you could put him in jail or something.
Yeah, and if you kind of think of like even in Lion King when they're singing the Circle of Life at the beginning,
Yeah.
it's the lions, that are singing that. What
the
about
lions are the top of the circle.
Yeah, what about like the poor giraffes or like the poor like zebras that get mauled to death?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
the
where's
ant
their
is, like,
share?
It's like the worst. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
the
like
ants
the
get
circle of
stepped
life.
on every day.
That like adds insult to injury. You know what I mean? Like we're at the top and we wrote a song about it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the gazelles are not a big fan of the circle of life.
Exactly.
hit. Yeah. Well, that's what's weird about the Lion King movies. They show lions interacting with like warthogs, and it's like there's no
Yeah,
way. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like Timon and Pumbaa would definitely
Yeah.
just have been his lunch. You know what I mean?
He didn't have his parents though, so
Yeah.
he doesn't know the difference.
That's how it happens.
yeah.
You know, your parents are gone.
wrapped up with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Except for in Bruce Wayne's case, I think he got it pretty.
Yeah, but he was so rich he didn't have to
well.
interact.
He doesn't have to have friends.
Yeah.
So
You know, he's got money. He doesn't need friends.
who needs money when you have friends? Or
Who needs friends when you have money?
That's what I meant. Who needs money when you have?
It goes
I
both.
said it again.
It goes both
Who
ways,
needs-
I guess.
Who needs friends when you have money?
Who needs money when you have friends?
And
It goes both ways.
Alfred, he's a good friend.
Who needs friends when you have Alfred?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he his friend though? Because it's like he raised him, sure, but he
Yeah.
was also probably getting paid $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Bruce Wayne's a trillionaire. You know.
He didn't have to stick around.
Like I'm sure. Well, I'm sure Alfred was getting paid so much.
He didn't have
you
to
know?
stick around.
Yeah, I mean, it's lucky that Alfred did stick around because then Bruce Wayne would have just been in like an orphanage.
Pretty much, yeah.
Did he not have godparents?
I guess not. I mean, the only ones he would have had would be Thomas Eliot's parents, who also died from
Mhm.
Hush.
Right, I remember that. Yeah.
I don't know. That was his only other friend.
Yeah. You read Hush, didn't you?
Yeah,
Recently?
yeah. That's why
It's
it's
good.
fresh in my mind.
It's classic. Yeah, I forgot about that. until
He
you-
could have gotten taken in with the Flying Graysons, maybe.
Yeah. Well, was that even? Were they even like adults at that time? Maybe
I don't know.
the Flying Graysons.
I think they were
because
a
when
troop when.
well, when Bruce,
Bruce Wayne
Wayne's
would've been-
an
was a kid.
adult, when Bruce Wayne's an adult, he takes in like they die,
Yeah,
and he takes in Dick.
but I think it was like a
So-
tradition or something.
It's
it
a
like-
tradition for them to die.
No, like a famous acrobatic.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when Bruce was a kid, they weren't really.
That's true.
They
You
were
might
like
be right.
in high school probably.
Yeah,
So, because then when he's an adult, they're adults.
yeah,
They're probably around his same age. I
yeah,
would think. And then Dick Grayson's a small child.
yeah.
Yeah. Little Dick.
He's a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else exciting happened in your summer? Speaking of Maine.
I went to Roanoke.
Okay.
That wasn't real. It wasn't that exciting. It was
Were
just.
What were you doing? A wedding or
It was the funeral convention.
funeral convention?
My
What's that
dad's a business.
about? Yeah. You did anything exciting there?
Not
Or was it
really.
just dead?
It wasn't dead.
Yeah. I wonder like, what do you do at like a funeral convention? You know, like you got some panels.
They usually hold it at the beach,
Well, that's
and
cool.
we go with our parents. Spend a couple days,
Yeah.
and then there's like free stuff. I don't have to pay for anything.
Yeah. Well, I love free stuff.
And this year it was in Roanoke, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a cool city.
I like Roanoke.
It's not the beach.
I was in Roanoke the same time as you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. I went to see Weird Al in Roanoke, and amazing show.
Yeah.
The thing about the show is, like, even if you're not a fan of Weird Al, I'm a huge fan. I've wanted to see him live since, I forget exactly when I first heard him, but it's like 3rd or 4th grade. I've loved him so long. And I got to see him, and even if you're not a fan, amazing performer. Like, I would recommend anyone going.
Yeah.
Amazing performer. He's a really good live. And then I got to meet him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, we
saw a picture.
Yeah, we just went behind the venue, and his, like, bus was there, so, like, we just hung around, and, like, he saw, like, 15 people, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was sweet. And he's a really nice dude. I thanked
Really?
him for being, like, an influence on my life. Really nice guy.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because, I mean, honestly, like, the earliest roots, like, he's one of the first people where I was like,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
you can be funny. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, it
definitely.
was one of the first times I was like, wait a second. Like, this is like a job. You can be
Yeah.
funny for a living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I mean, I'm not funny for a living, but I want to be.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there. Golden Pony, June 28th.
I'll be there.
If you're in Harrisonburg or near,
Should be there.
come to the Golden Pony on June 28th. It's $3. $2 if you wear pajamas. Yeah, but really nice guy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean,
yeah.
you hear interviews with him, and I never, like, assumed he would be a jerk, you know?
Yeah.
But, like,
He seems so happy all the
it's
time.
nice when you meet a hero, and, like, they're as you expected them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, that is cool.
Really nice guy. I like him. But, you know, even if you don't get an opportunity to, like, meet him, go to his show. His show's really good. His live show's really, really good. Back to Funeral Con.
Yeah. I mean, didn't do much. I played a lot of pool. It's a good game, and you forget how good that game is.
Yeah.
The game of pool.
Billiards?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
billiards is a different game.
Is it?
Apparently.
Oh, I thought it was the same thing.
Apparently. I always thought it was the same thing,
I
too.
always thought, like, you called it billiards if you were a douchebag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think billiards doesn't involve the pockets. It's basically the same size table.
Yeah.
And you use the same balls, I think. Maybe not the same balls, but no pockets. And it's like a strategy game. But most people just call pool billiards. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I mean, there's always, like, proper names for people that are, like, obnoxious. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, if you're really into ping pong, if you're, like, a dick about ping pong, you call it table tennis. You know
You
what
call
I
it
mean?
being a Richard about table tennis.
If you're a Richard, no, you call it table tennis. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
like, oh, I really like
Are
table
people that
tennis.
call soccer football
Yeah,
that live
yeah.
in America?
Yeah, if you
It's like,
live
come
in
on.
America and you call soccer football,
Come
it's
on.
like, come on,
Come on.
come on. You're not that.
Yeah.
You're not that cool.
Talking to you, Daniel.
Daniel, we're calling you out.
I don't
call
think
him?
I think he calls it soccer.
Yeah, I think he does too.
He's not that.
No, I think I've
bad.
had this conversation with him. I think we've both agreed that it's obnoxious
Yeah.
when Americans call it football.
Yeah, he's not that.
Especially when they use the accent, you know what I mean?
Isaac, on the
They're
other
like,
hand. Yeah, football.
Yeah,
Foot-
but
or
wait, you're
football.
talking to him, and they're like, it's not soccer, it's football.
Yeah,
It's like,
football.
yeah, okay.
We're gonna go play some football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a boring sport.
it's not that great.
It's fun to play, but it's the worst sport to watch.
I mean, I see the charm to it. Like, people who are fans of soccer are usually really intense about it.
Yeah.
But I think that's just mainly because in America, it's one of the least popular sports.
Yeah.
So people that, when you have something like that not everybody loves, it usually makes the charm factor higher.
Well, I guess being a fan of anything, like being an overly excited fan about anything is obnoxious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I'm super into comics, and like when I get into a conversation with someone that's like not into comics about comics, I feel like a moron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh yeah, the Bloodhaven, and no, that wasn't issue 12, that was issue 14. I just feel like the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing with video games. When I'm talking to someone that's like not into games, about games.
Yeah, no, I know the same.
I just feel like the worst, and you always like act like you know less than you do.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
I always do that.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, Tetris is a classic.
Like especially if you're trying to show somebody how to play a game that doesn't know how to play, you don't
Yeah.
want to just be like, oh, use the D-pad for this. You just, use
Yeah.
the cross-shaped thing on the controller.
The cross-shaped thing, yeah, the D-pad. I know, like literally no one calls it.
Yeah.
It's called the D-pad.
Or like if you're playing a game and you have a cheat code memorized, you don't want to.
You don't want to act like you know. It's like we better look up this cheat
Yes.
code. It's like I know it.
It's like it's right, left. I mean, actually, look it up.
Yeah, I always like. Do you ever feel like really self-conscious about like the fact that you're into these nerdy things?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, like when you're around people that are normal. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like, man, like when I'm just like talking like avidly about games, and then someone like that's not into games like hears me, it just I feel like so self-conscious, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the most self-conscious in recent memory that I felt about being a nerd. It was the day before graduation, right? My grandparents are in town, and my dad was driving, but I was like, Dad, can we stop at Walmart? And we stopped at Walmart. It was pouring rain, and I made like my grandparents wait in the car.
Are these the ones from Tennessee?
Yeah.
So
I made my grandparents wait in the car as I ran into Walmart to look for a Wario amiibo.
that's funny. That's
You know what I mean?
hilarious.
And it's like not even like, okay, if I'm looking for Mario's not hard to find.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, maybe, but I'm looking for like a C-list Mario character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on, grandparents, just wait in the car. I gotta find a Wario.
It's classic.
You know? So, have you ever, you got a good story for the most?
I was thinking while you were telling that story if I had one. Not, I don't know, not from recent memory. I'm sure there have been times like where maybe somebody was like over at my house and all I was doing was playing video games or something. And then like,
oh yeah, whenever someone like your brother's friend or something, or like your sister's friend, especially when it's like another like girl, like even if you're not like interested in her, it's just like another girl and she's just like watching, like playing like Uncharted or something.
Yeah.
And you're just like shooting 20 dudes in the head. It's like,
I think I've had that.
Paige.
I think I've had that experience more often with like anime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like somebody like I was reading manga or something and somebody noticed.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
It's like, it's Japanese comics.
Yeah, I was like watching this show called like Polar Bear Cafe.
Yeah.
It's like an anime. And like they're speaking in Japanese. It's a show about a polar bear that owns a cafe.
Yeah.
Shirokuma Cafe, if you know the Japanese. And I was just like watching it, and I'd watched a couple episodes, and then like one of Hope's friends comes over, and I'm just like, hi. You guys can have the TV.
Some of them
go in my room and cry myself to sleep.
I've not seen that one, but I'm familiar with
It's really good.
Some of them seem like they would be like things that would be cool if somebody was like, "Oh, what are you watching? That seems cool."
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still like it's an anime and it's in Japanese.
Yeah.
You're reading
the fact that I'm,
subtitles.
like reading this show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like, just so. I'm gonna go in my room and shoot myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I got another story for being self-conscious as a nerd. Bayonetta 2 had just come out, you know, and I was super excited. I wanted it because it came out like a week after my birthday, so I'd gotten birthday money, you know. I was super excited. And if you're not familiar with Bayonetta, anyone who's watching, Bayonetta is a game about like a witch that like is really scantily clad and it's a really violent game about a scantily clad witch, right?
Yeah.
So, super excited. But the problem with Bayonetta 2, is it's on the Wii U. It's a Wii U exclusive. And so they didn't think it was going to sell very well, so they printed, like, no copies.
Right.
So I went to, like, 2 GameStops, and I couldn't find it. I went to, like, a Walmart, and I couldn't find it. So, like, I couldn't buy it in a game store. I had to go to, like, a Walmart or something. So I drove to several stores, and I finally found it at Walmart. They had 1 copy left. And I was so excited for, like, a half second. And then I went to the, you know, they have to unlock it, right?
Yeah.
So I went to the place where they unlock it. And usually it's like a dude that like, you know, it's like a dude with like a beard like that likes video games.
Yeah, that knows his stuff.
But it was
at
like
least.
a freaking 90-year-old like sweet woman. You know what I mean? And I felt so bad. I was like,
oh man.
I was like, hey, can you unlock a game for me? She's like, oh, that's so great that you play games. It's like, what do you want? You want like Disney Infinity? And I'm like, no, I want Bayonetta 2.
That's funny.
I want the game about the scantily clad witch.
Oh my gosh.
That has high heels that double as gun.
That's really funny.
You know what I mean? I felt really bad.
Do you ever feel awkward explaining something to somebody that isn't familiar with it?
Yeah.
Like, self-conscious, yeah, but also awkward. I mean, and it's not just with, like, video games. Like, I know I've had experiences where, like, I've had to explain something to somebody, and that kind of makes me feel, like, self-conscious. Like, my grandmother's asking me, like, well, what are you playing? I'm, like, trying to explain it.
Yeah, yeah. That happens a lot with my dad. My dad's like, what are you playing?
Yeah.
I was like, it's Octodad Dadliest Catch. It's a game about an octopus that, everyone thinks he's a human, And if you mess up too much, they're gonna find out that you're an octopus.
I mean, I even feel that way, like, if I'm listening to music and somebody asks me what I'm listening to or something,
Yeah.
it's like...
It happens a lot with video games for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go, like, to, like, a movie with, like, a group of people, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll just be talking to someone, and they're like, oh, what'd you do today? It's like, I played video games. And they're like, oh, I play video games, like Call of Duty?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. They're like, oh, what's that?
Toad's Treasure Tracker.
It's a JRPG. It's a Japanese role-playing game, kind of in the vein of Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my life.
Pretty much.
Speaking of video
In a
games,
nutshell.
E3 happened.
E3?
We did our predictions. Our predictions kind of held up.
I feel like a lot of them did.
Yeah, I mean, what did we predict that did come true?
We got a handheld Metroid, sort of.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, it's like a multiplayer. It's like a weird multiplayer thing, and it's like they're saying it's Metroid,
Yeah.
but it's
It's
pretty
probably
much.
kind of...
It looks like just a game they're making, and they're putting a Metroid skin on it to help it sell.
Like the Nintendo Land Metroid game,
Yeah,
which I enjoy that.
that was fun. Yeah,
I like playing that.
Nintendo Land, I'm gonna say underrated game.
It really is.
I bought a Wii U launch day, right? And I bought the deluxe, like the deluxe one, right? So it came with Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
And Nintendo Land was a game I was not interested in, but I was like, I get a game, so I'm gonna play it, right? I'm gonna say underrated game.
It's yeah.
I'm glad I got it for free because I wouldn't have bought it.
It's good for like good for parties.
For parties, yeah, for friends.
I mean, it's like a mix between like Wii Sports, which anybody can pick up and play, but also like diehard Nintendo like
it's
classics.
like the perfect medium between like
Yeah.
diehard Nintendo
It's
fans and like casual Wii Sports. But yeah, I mean, it's the type of game I never would have bought, but I got it for free and I really liked it. And,
Yeah.
and like after having played it for so long, I probably would have.
I think I actually
$10.
bought it because I played it with you and I really liked it, and then I got a Wii U, which I didn't have to pay for. It was a gift.
Right.
I think I had some spending money, and it was only like $20. So I was like,
Yeah.
let's do this.
It's a lot of fun, especially like if you want to like play the Wii U with like some friends.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's like Smash and Kart, but
Exactly.
that was the multiplayer
Yeah.
game for a while. So.
For a while, yeah.
I like it. I'm a fan.
I haven't played it in a long time.
I haven't either, but I don't have friends, so.
Yeah. But yeah, predictions. What else?
I mean, there was no new Mario really,
Yeah.
There was Mario Maker, which was cool. I'm very excited for Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Weird thing about Mario Maker. Did you watch the Nintendo presentation?
No, I didn't actually.
I mean, their presentation was really bad.
Yeah, see, I was in Roanoke when E3 was happening, so the best I could do was follow IGN
Yeah,
on the app.
that's fair. Yeah,
And
I mean,
I didn't really get to watch any coverage.
yeah, their presentation was really bad. I was expecting a big announcement, and it just never came. They announced some cool stuff, but there was no big announcement that was like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Mario Maker looks amazing. Weird thing about Mario Maker, I think it's a poor decision, and I don't see how it's happening. They're releasing Mario Maker on 9/11. Do you realize that?
No?
They announced the date at E3, and they're like, September 11th.
Do they realize that? I feel
I
like
mean-
that's happened before. I feel like I remember something else being released on 9/11.
Yeah, I mean, they're a Japanese company, right? So, I mean, in Japan, 9/11 doesn't have the same significance.
At least it's
probably.
not like tower defense or something like
Yeah.
that. Like one of those
It was
games.
like a tower defense game. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the same, like significance, right? In
Yeah.
Japan or any other country, right?
Yeah.
Only America does 9/11 mean something.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, Nintendo has a huge like office building in America.
Oh, yeah,
and they
and
make
yeah.
these decisions. So I don't see how this is a mistake that really could be made, but it's happening. Mario Maker 9/11.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that's a huge deal, but still,
It just
with
seems
their luck
irreverent,
lately,
you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
I mean, I'm still gonna play it, but like, it just
Of
seems
all
irreverent to,
days.
like, be excited about a game release.
There's
on
365, 366 in a leap year. Just release it on another day.
When's the next leap year? I really like leap years.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I think
we gotta do an episode on a leap year.
we should,
Yeah.
because then it won't
Then
exist.
it won't exist. It's
Yeah.
the lost episode. I mean, not lost, because
The lost day.
the lost world, Jurassic Park 2, the lost world,
I'd like to see Jurassic Park, Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic.
I'm gonna say Jurassic Park the Lost World, you can't.
Jurassic Park. Dude, those movies are amazing.
I really like the.
I'm gonna go on
Jurassic
record
movies.
and say that.
Yeah.
I've not seen Jurassic World.
I want to. I heard it's a lot of fun, but the story is just garbage.
It doesn't
But
have
it's fine.
Goldblum, so
No
it's probably
Goldblum,
it's
yeah.
probably not good.
Yeah, the Jeff Goldblum man group.
Pratt, on the other hand, he's a quality actor.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm totally on the Chris Pratt bandwagon. I really am. Like everything he makes, I really like.
See, I liked
Lego
him
Movie?
in Parks and Rec.
I did.
When I watched Parks and Rec,
Mhm.
and then I stopped watching that for a while, and then he came out in. He was in something, and he was really skinny, and I was like, "Who's that?"
I mean,
Who's
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That? Yeah, that's probably what it was.
All of a sudden, he's just like a monster.
I was like,
he's
"Who's
just
that
ripped,
handsome
you know?
man?" And I was like, "That name sounds familiar," and I was like, "What?"
What? Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I watched Parks and Rec. The only season I haven't seen is the newest one. So.
I watched like the first two, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
It is a good show.
funny.
Yeah, it's a really well written comedy.
I appreciate the work of what's his Greg Daniels or something.
Oh yeah.
The director.
I
or
thought you were
whatever.
gonna say Harris Whittles.
Isn't it Greg Daniels?
'Cause he
the
died.
guy that like made the show.
Yeah, maybe.
That in The Office.
I mean, Amy Poehler.
Well, yeah.
No, but Harris Whittles was like one of the main writers, and he was a stand-up comedian. He died.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Did you
Like last
see
year,
this was a while back. This was early in this month. What's his name from what's his name? The guy that the black dude, the comedian
Oh,
from 30 Rock.
Tracy
Yeah.
Morgan.
He
I
released
I almost say Jordan because like that's his
Yeah.
name in
Tracy
Jordan.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan came out about his like accident for the
Oh yeah,
first
I was gonna say,
time.
like what happened? Like I know he got hit. Like he was in really critical condition, but I don't know how he's doing. I haven't heard updates.
He did an interview.
Okay.
I forget, it was like on some news
I
thing.
think he was in like a coma for a while.
Yeah, he talked about it. It was interesting. He said it was like him and like his best friend who was also a comedian or something, I think, and
Mhm.
the other guy died, and he was like so broken up about that he didn't really like leave his house or something for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he was in a coma too, and he's just like recovering, and he says he's gonna try to get back into comedy.
Yeah, that really sucks.
Yeah.
Because I think he was touring with like an hour when he got
Oh,
hit.
really?
I think he was, yeah. He
Dang.
was coming home from a show, I think.
Yeah, he was like touring. I knew that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's okay.
I just thought I'd say that.
Yeah, was it just an accident or was it drunk driving?
I
don't remember.
I think somebody hit him. I think a drunk driver hit him.
Oh, okay. I knew like alcohol was involved somehow.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure. Yeah, I think he was in his limo
Oh, yeah.
and like a drunk driver hit him. Yeah.
Okay, that would do some damage.
For sure, yeah. So E3.
Yeah, E3. Doom.
I mean-
Was that announced before?
Doom was announced.
Okay.
But we knew it was gonna happen, and
It
Doom
looks
looks really good.
Amazing. I watched
Um,
the trailer, the gameplay trailer.
Yeah. I mean, we can just do a quick run through. Doom looks amazing. Fallout 4 looks amazing.
Fallout 4. What are your thoughts on Uncharted 4?
It looks really good,
I
but
think it looks amazing.
at the same time, it just kind of looks like prettier Uncharted.
It looks like it looks
Yeah,
like Uncharted.
And I mean, I definitely want to play it. I'm a huge Uncharted fan, but it doesn't look like anything necessarily special.
But
you know what I mean?
but
It doesn't look like
but
it's like a new like you know what I
but
mean?
speaking from experience with those games, you can't tell much from the trailer or
from gameplay.
or from
'Cause it's kinda
gameplay.
just-
I remember when I think 2 or 3 came out, I played like a demo of it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. It's just you're like running through
yeah, it's
a third
kind of
world
a
country
standard-
or something, and then you play it and blows your mind.
yeah, kind of a
like-
standard third-person shooter.
Like the beginning of 3 with like that train.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that in 3? And like
that one scene in I think it's in 3.
the boat.
I think the train's in 2.
I think it is
But
in
the
2.
boat in 3.
The boat was in 3.
That's the
Just
the cruise
stuff
boat.
like that you don't see in like they have their way. It's Naughty Dog.
Yeah, and I mean games are
can't-
big now,
yeah.
but we don't see like really cinematic stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Like what's crazy about Uncharted is, I mean, everyone always says it's the Indiana Jones of games. Very true. But I feel like Uncharted is the only series that really is a movie. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And
it's
it's an interactive movie in a good way. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times games are try to be interactive movies and it's not good.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
Uncharted is like very much like this big blockbuster movie.
exactly.
And it's awesome.
I've seen good movies, but I've also played Uncharted, and those games are better than some movies I've seen. So.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, like so I think 4 is probably gonna, whatever your expectations are, I think it's gonna meet them and.
Oh, I mean, I think it'll be better.
Blow them out of the water.
Yeah. It looks really cool. I really want to play it.
Yeah.
So Uncharted 4, Fallout 4 looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
Looks like more Fallout, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
a great thing.
It looks new and improved at the same time because like there's dialogue, there's vocal dialogue, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's new, and then like
Yeah, that is new. It's interesting because like your character actually talks in this one, and not Uncharted. In Fallout 3 and New Vegas, your character wasn't really a character.
Yeah.
He was just pretty much an avatar.
Yeah.
And you would talk, but it's like it doesn't matter. So I'm interested to see if this one has more of a story focus.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if it has more of a story focus, it has to be less open world. And this game doesn't look like it's less open world, but in order for there to be a narrative, you can't kill certain people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like in Uncharted, or I keep saying Uncharted. In Fallout like 3 and New Vegas, you could just kill someone,
Yeah.
and then that's a side mission you can't do.
Yeah, just change the.
And it didn't matter
pace of the
because
game.
your character was an avatar. But if your character is talking to people
Yeah.
and is a character, not an avatar, that could be a
Except
problem.
The developer that presented it mentioned that they had like a strong emphasis on exploration and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
It is.
What's up?
And the show, Paige Campbell.
Thank you.
Hey.
You're fine.
I'm on the air.
You're fine. Mr. Mark Clarke, everybody. You're not on camera. But I figured I'd say who's talking. Oh, you're fine. Yeah. I mean, you're hosting. So, you're hosting
What episode is this?
27?
Super.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the mic picked him up. That was my dad.
Yeah. I mean, if it picked him up, I figured I'd say who he was.
Yeah. It might have.
Yeah.
Fallout, yeah.
What was I saying?
Fallout 4.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just interested to see how they, if there is more narrative in this game, how they do that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It looks good.
Oh,
It looks really
looks
good.
awesome. Vats is back,
Oh, yeah.
you know? Which is interesting. How do you feel about Vats?
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it. I kind of feel like it's not really a solution. You know? Like, it's kind of like the combat in those games is not very good. And Vats exists because the combat's not very good, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I like
So-
it because, like...
I kind of would have just liked to see better combat
Wait,
instead of Vats. You know what I mean?
That would be nice, but, like, I kind of like it because you can, like, target,
Yeah.
like, a leg or something and
Yeah.
just blow out somebody's leg.
Yeah.
And then... I don't know. I like it a lot.
I think it's cool. And I mean, I think they said that, like, Fallout 1 and 2 were not open world games like this. They were turn-based
Yeah.
RPGs.
Top down, I think.
Right, they were top-down turn-based RPGs. And then Fallout 3, I think, made a lot of the purists, quote-unquote, a little angry because they liked the game. They
Yeah.
liked the originals. So I think Vats was their way of, like, kind of tipping the hat to the original fans. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
that makes sense.
it is open world, it is live action, it is real time, but it's also kind of turn-based.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of, you have to choose where to hit and then it
Yeah.
hits. You know what I
And
mean?
you have, like, critical hit and
Yeah.
percentage rates.
It's
and-
cool because it's kind of like real-time action and
Yeah.
turn-based at
Yeah.
the same time. So
I really like the
I enjoy
Fallout
it, man.
series.
I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm very excited for 4. Other games excited about. I'm very excited about the new South Park,
Oh, yeah.
the Fractured Butt Hole. It's the Fractured Butthole,
Yeah.
but it's butt hole,
Classic.
like WHOLE.
Yeah.
So it looks cool. Instead of like fantasy, this time it's superheroes.
Oh, that's cool.
So I hope it's another RPG because I really like RPGs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's superheroes this time, not fantasy.
That's pretty great.
Not LARPing.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I mean, there was just a trailer. We didn't see gameplay or
Yeah.
anything, so it's hard to say if I think it looks good. But
Yeah.
the trailer was hilarious. I'm excited that they're making another one.
The Last Guardian looks
Yeah,
cool.
that was crazy.
That looks
That game's
really
literally
cool.
been in development for like 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Did you not hear about that? They announced it at like an E3 like in like 2006 or something.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, and
Well, I know I did read that it was supposed to be for PS3,
yeah.
but I didn't realize that it was that long.
In the time that The Last Guardian, when it was announced, and we saw the trailer this year,
Yeah.
and they say it's 2016, in the time that it was announced, and now it's coming out, I guess, hopefully,
Yeah.
cross our fingers, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, and The Last of Us.
Oh,
came out.
dang.
So,
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
so, I mean, if the game's not a 10, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because,
Yeah.
like, they spent way too much time making it.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Boyhood took 12 years, and not everybody loved that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm just saying, if this game's not a masterpiece, then
yeah,
they-
it looks
then
gorgeous.
they really screwed up.
It looks gorgeous. Isn't it made by the people that did like Shadow of Colossus? and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. That's why people are so excited
Yeah.
for it, because it's a continuation of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks cool.
That's awesome.
I'm excited. Other games. There was an indie game at Microsoft's conference called Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
Really excited for that. And last year, Microsoft showed a montage of it was just like a montage of indie games, you know?
Yeah.
And they showed 5 seconds of Cuphead, and I was like, that looks amazing. And I googled it and like watched trailers and stuff, and I got so excited. And this year they showed like a 3-minute trailer.
That's awesome.
And they said 2016.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
It looks really artistic and really
yeah, it
creative.
has the art direction of a 30s cartoon.
Yeah.
Like a 1930s
Yeah.
cartoon. And it plays like a 16-bit platformer.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I want it. I want it now.
Yeah.
I guess it's gonna be on Xbox and PC, so I'll play it on PC. I'm not into Xbox.
I don't have an
I'm not
Xbox.
into that ecosystem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm playing it.
It looks good.
It's happening. Very excited about Cuphead. I think that's it. I think that's all I'm really excited for. You know. What other
Yeah.
games? I mean, Guerrilla Games for Sony showed that new game Horizon. That looks cool.
I didn't.
It was
I
like
didn't
a
see
girl, and she was like shooting robot dinosaurs.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It looked cool. Yeah. Guerrilla Games is famous, of course, for making Killzone.
Yeah.
They made like all the Killzone games, and they're finally doing their own thing, or I
So
guess
that's not
a
like-
new thing.
Sony PlayStation exclusive. If
It is a PlayStation.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
sounds cool.
Yeah. Battlefront looked awesome.
Oh yeah.
Very excited for Battlefront.
Is there a single player campaign? Because
No.
I heard there wasn't, but then I heard that there might be.
I think you can play like the multiplayer maps on single player.
Yeah, there's
just
like an
play 'em.
offline.
Yeah, but I don't. There's no campaign,
Alright.
which sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of these things. A lot in the other games, the campaign was just play a multiplayer map with missions,
Yeah.
and you know that's kind of
Pretty much.
so.
Yeah.
But I like it. You know, I like a
Still
short
looks.
little, like
It's,
5-hour campaign.
it still
to
looks
run through.
really, really pretty.
Yeah, oh, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Like in that trailer they showed on Hoth, when Darth Vader comes and then Luke comes. And
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that looks intense.
Looks so good. EA had a pretty poor conference, in my opinion, but they showed some cool stuff. Mass Effect 4.
Oh yeah.
It didn't have 4, but it has like a tagline. I forget what
Yeah.
the tagline was. But Mass Effect.
Something spacey.
Yeah, something spacey.
Kevin
and then yeah, something Kevin Spacey. No, he's in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Or he was.
That's his franchise.
Yeah. And then they announced like it was called like Unraveled, and it was like a new like little platformer, and that looked awesome too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of yarn platformers, Yoshi's Woolly World.
Nice.
I'm very excited about that. It was like October 16th, I think, this
Is-
year.
Did they give a release date?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Very excited about Yoshi's Woolly
Yeah, it
World.
looks cool.
That game looks a lot of fun.
The Kirby's Epic Yarn was I liked that.
Yeah, I liked it.
it wasn't
I just thought
amazing.
It was not a good Kirby game.
No,
I thought it
definitely
was
not a good
game,
Kirby
but not a
game.
good Kirby game.
But
you know?
but the art style and everything and the
Yeah,
way it
oh, yeah.
played. If they do that with Yoshi, I think that's
Well, this one to me looks even cooler because in Kirby's Epic Yarn, he was just like an outline of yarn. These ones are like
Oh
literal,
yeah,
like,
yarn ball. Yeah,
It looks awesome.
it looks really cool. Yeah,
And it basically looks like Yoshi's Island but yarn, which is awesome.
It's
I love
perfect.
Yoshi's Island.
It's just fine.
Yeah. So this might be the first good Yoshi game in a long time.
I would have to agree.
So to Nintendo. We'll go to Nintendo. I guess we'll finish this E3 talk with Nintendo.
Sure.
The new Zelda that got announced
Yeah.
and Mario Maker.
3DS.
played
Wasn't
them.
there 2 new Zelda? Well, one of them is just
There's
the.
two?
One of them is just the Hyrule Warriors
Oh, yeah,
3DS
yeah.
port.
I think it's just a port.
Yeah.
But I played the new multiplayer Zelda.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I went to Best Buy. I went to Best Buy to play Mario Maker.
Yeah.
That was fun. I didn't, in a weird way, get to play Mario Maker because they weren't letting people make levels.
Oh, really?
They were just letting people make levels that had been, or play levels that had been made by Nintendo people. But I got to play it. It was a lot of fun. But big surprise, they had 3DSs with the new Zelda. I was skeptical when they announced it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, but my problem with it is it's multiplayer.
Yeah.
You know? And
It sounded like 4 swords or something.
it looks like 4
those
swords,
lines.
but it's only 3 players.
That's weird.
It is weird.
It's 3 swords.
It's
I
3
guess.
swords, yeah.
The
It was
Triforce.
called like Triforce Heroes or something.
Triforce something, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, the thing about it was a lot of fun when I was playing with 2 other Nintendo enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But I don't know how often I'm gonna get to
Yeah,
play
that's
with
true.
2 other Nintendo enthusiasts. You know what I mean? Like even if you get it, you know, and I get it, like I'm not gonna like see you every day
Yeah.
to play it.
I know.
So,
Seems like they're doing too much with multiplayer.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
But at the same time, everybody is.
yeah, that's true.
So,
I want more single player.
yeah,
That's why I like Fallout 4.
exactly. They're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Bethesda knows what they're
Just
doing.
give me a big meaty single player experience and leave me
I
alone.
think giving Bethesda their own conference
You know?
was the best idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone pretty much could have a conference. You just have to pay like $1 million.
Konami should have a conference next
Yeah,
year.
well, Konami used to do conferences and they were pretty hard to watch.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. You wanna do a game?
Let's do a game.
Do a game. We've been going about an hour, so let's do a game. Maybe wrap up. Play some music. All right. Thank you for that intro.
You're welcome.
This is a game that I think was your idea, but I put it together, and I'm very excited about it. I have taglines from movies.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'll say the
This was my idea.
tagline, and you have to guess the movie. Are you ready?
Are they like, is there any specific, like, reference, like, guidelines of
I just got a bunch of movies.
just
No,
random
there's no.
movies? All right.
But we love movies. Hopefully, I think most of them, they're all very big movies, except
Okay.
for maybe 1 or 2. But
Shouldn't
they're
be
all
too
very
hard. All
popular
right.
movies. So the first one I think you know, but I'm
Okay.
gonna say it.
All right.
A family comedy without the family.
I'm guessing Home Alone.
That is Home Alone. I think when we were talking about this idea, we said that one.
Yeah.
But that one's too good to not do.
Taglines, man.
Taglines. All right. Here we go. Ready? Fear can hold you prisoner. Hope can set you free.
Is it... I feel like this has to do with, like... Man, this is a pretty tough game.
It is a tough game, yeah.
Is this like a big name movie?
It's a popular movie, yeah. It's an older movie, but it's popular.
Is it Castaway?
It's not. That's a good guess, though. It's the Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good guess, though. Castaway is actually a pretty good guess. This one's fun. A little adventure goes a long way.
A Lawn Way?
A long way. It's a really crappy kids movie.
Is it? Is it an animated movie?
Yes.
Well, you said crappy, so I don't know if my guess is gonna be there.
Okay.
Is it Over the Hedge?
It's not. I like Over the Hedge.
Over the
I'm a
Hedge is
fan.
not that crappy.
Oh yeah, I like Over the Hedge. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably remember this coming out. Romeo and Juliet. You remember that?
Gosh. I think I saw that once on TV, and it was the worst.
Yeah, I never saw it, but I
Animated
heard it was
movie.
just the worst
Yeah.
thing ever. Yeah,
I don't
mean,
recommend it.
Didn't look good.
No,
Um,
it doesn't sound good.
Yeah. All right, this next one. Your mind is the scene of the crime.
Oh man. Is this another like?
It's a big movie. It's not animated. Very big movie.
Dang.
Recent. Pretty recent. I think we were in middle school when it came out. I'll put it to you this way. We watched it at the beach.
Is it Inception?
It is Inception.
That was my first
Yeah.
my first thought, but I was like, that doesn't sound like.
I know. It's funny because like a lot of these are funny because they're like big movies that like have crazy good storylines, and then the tagline is just like,
Yeah.
your mind goes a long way. Yeah,
That
your
was-
mind's the scene of the crime.
That was the only thing that came to my mind.
Well, it's just funny
when you
because
said
like
it.
marketing like has to be the worst job in the world.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Because like you take something that's like so awesome and you just have to put it into one line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So next one. There's something about your first piece.
I don't know this one.
American Pie.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes
Yeah, it makes sense. All of them make sense. I mean, they're just, you know. I think the worst one is A Little Adventure Goes a Long Way.
Yeah.
That's really bad. And I mean, it's for a really bad movie.
Yeah.
But every man dies. Not every man really lives. This one's tough because it's really ambiguous.
Sounds like an action movie.
It is an action movie. It's a long movie.
A long movie. Long action movie.
It's a long action movie. Scottish people.
Scottish people.
Yeah.
So, like, Sean Connery, maybe?
Not necessarily Scottish actors. It's about Scottish people.
Oh, dang. I don't know.
Braveheart.
Braveheart.
Yeah, it has Braveheart. Have you ever seen Braveheart?
Not actually.
Oh, you haven't?
Not.
Braveheart's really good.
I've heard it's good. I like Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Mel Gibson. Well, I like his movies. I don't know if I like him.
Not as a person.
He
but
seems
yeah.
like a very bad
He's a
person.
cool actor.
He doesn't like Jewish people.
It's true.
You know what's weird? He got in trouble for making all those Jewish slurs, you know? But then he made The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
Well, The
what?
Passion of the Christ is supposed to make Jewish people look bad because they killed him.
Yeah, but Jesus was Jewish.
Yeah, technically, but he was also the first Christian.
Yeah, true.
And the Jews were the ones that killed him, so.
Fair point. All right.
Haven't you seen that South Park where Cartman watches
Cartman
it and
becomes like
becomes
the next
Hitler?
Hitler. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But yeah, I can see what you're saying.
I mean, like Jesus was Jewish.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, he was.
Well, yeah.
Both of his parents were Jewish.
Yeah.
And then he was born Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He was Hebrew, I guess.
Hebrew.
I guess he wasn't Jewish as far as his religion. I guess he wasn't anything.
Did you know that the of Nazareth tag is demeaning?
Really? Oh, really?
I didn't know that before, and
Like-
then
Nazareth was like a really crappy town or something.
yeah, I guess it's like people saying like Jesus of Nazareth
Yeah.
was like an insult, or supposed to make him look bad.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
The more you know.
I guess Jesus didn't really have any religion.
It's like saying of
because like he
Craigsville.
didn't like worship himself.
No offense.
He just kind of was. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I guess. I mean, does he worship his dad?
Maybe. He is his dad.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's weird. Next one. We have 3 more.
All right.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of vengeance.
Oh gosh.
But this is a really great movie, and I really hate this tagline because it's just like you have to just like boil it down into one like crappy line, you know?
Is it Taken?
No, that's a good guess.
Is it any of the Die Hard movies?
No, good guess though.
I don't know. I give up.
Django Unchained.
I never saw that.
Oh, you didn't?
Not yet.
Django Unchained's awesome. You got to see it.
I want to.
You're a Tarantino fan, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Tarantino.
Like Kill Bill and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Django Unchained is really good. I like it.
He's good at violence.
Yeah, he is. That's
Tarantino.
like kind of all he does.
Pretty
But
much.
His stories are really good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. It's on my list.
It's on your queue.
It's on my queue.
All right, you should watch it definitely. All right, it's as real as the feelings you feel.
This has got to be like a recent Disney movie or something.
It's Disney-esque. It's not. I don't think it's actually Disney. It's Disney-esque though, and I don't think it's recent. It's not recent.
like 2000s or
I'm not
older?
exactly sure. I think 2000s. No, maybe older than 2000s.
Hmm.
I'm not exactly sure when it came out, but it's very Disney-esque, but it's not Disney, I don't think. It's a good movie. It's a fun little family movie. Family flick.
I don't know. Is it like Princess Diaries or something?
Close. It's The Princess Bride.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
guess that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like The Princess Bride. It's a good
Cool.
movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's
but that's
90s.
such a
I think
crappy
that's
tagline.
90s.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is pretty
Andre the
bad.
Giant. That's such a crappy tagline, though. It's as real as the feelings you feel.
Gosh.
All right, last one. Then we'll wrap up, I guess. An adventure 65 million years in the making.
Jurassic Park.
Yes, it is Jurassic Park.
Sweet.
There you go. So you got one.
I got a couple. I got Home Alone and Inception.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Well,
I think that means I win.
yeah. You won with 3 points. All right. That's our show. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Uncle Paige. That's Noah Clarke. He's at NoahAiden42. We have shirts. Go to Zazzle.com/The Paige Campbell Show. Buy a shirt. Show your support for your favorite pod. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.